when it comes to committing murder. Sometimes it's easier with a friend. Why do lovesick teenagers lose control?
Things got very ugly very fast.
What does a woman do to make a boy kill?
Grown up to be a very handsome man.
She knew he was pliable.
Will you help me?
And when friendship's one-sided,
Anything for you.
it's a dangerous game.
She was ready to take the fall for the whole thing.
These deadly women don't like to act alone. For them, it takes two to kill. Detroit teenager Larkita Collier has strong women to guide her through life.
It's time.
Her 64-year-old grandmother, Bertha Adkins, is a constant companion, while her mom, Sandra, works full-time.
I think the wife did it.
I think the son did it.
The mother worked double shifts. Bertha basically watched the house during the day.
Did you do your homework?
Yeah.
Under their watchful eyes, 16-year-old Larkita is thriving.
Larkita Collier was on her way to being a successful person. She was doing very well.
But raising a teen is rarely smooth sailing.
Oh, what are you trying to do, knock me off my game?
I thought you might like it up close and personal.
Especially when they fall in love.
Maybe.
They met, it seems, at the very beginning of their freshman year in high school.
When Larkita meets 17-year-old classmate Sharon Patterson, things begin to change.
Larkita believed Sharon was the love of her life. They loved each other as much as teenagers can say that they love each other when they're 16.
But Larkita doesn't share her joy with her family. She sneaks Sharon into her home and her bed.
Sharon would sneak in and hide in Larkita's bedroom, and no one else in the household would know at first that she was there.
Sharon has no home of her own. She's been couch surfing for months.
She really didn't have a stable residence. Sharon would often spend up to a couple days in a row at Larkita's home.
But it's not a secret for long.
Wake up, sleepyhead. Lakita! Get dressed!
Larkita isn't the first young, promising teenager
No, you have to get up now.
whose life was derailed because they fell in love and wanted sex.
Now there's friction in the once happy home.
How could she do this?
You just have to tell her she has to go.
Larkita's grandmother strongly disapproved of her having a relationship with another girl like that, and her mother wasn't real happy about it either.
Her mom, Sandra, is at a loss.
How long has this been going on?
A few months.
You're too young.
Telling a teenager in love they have to break up with someone or get out is very risky business. You could end up losing your kid.
Sandra compromises, but with strict conditions.
Okay, she can visit, but she can't stay.
No more sleepovers and no unsupervised visits.
She's not welcome in this house if I'm not home.
Sandra was open-minded enough that although she didn't approve of it, she wasn't really fond of Sharon, she was going to allow it to happen.
But the two teenagers walk a fine line.
Sharon was a bad influence.
In there.
Okay. There. Oh, I'm coming. Okay, great. I'm coming about it. All right.
She had no home life, no supervision. She was like a wild animal.
Oh my God.
She didn't respect anyone, and that included Larkita's family members.
Soon, Sandra feels like she's losing her daughter.
Lakita!
She's pushed to her breaking point.
Clean it up.
We'll do it later.
Do it now.
Make us.
She didn't like Sharon as a person. She didn't like her attitude. She didn't like the way that she behaved at her home.
She is out of here.
No.
It got to a point where Sharon simply was not allowed in the house.
She's got to go. Mom, she has got to go.
You'll never keep us apart, old woman.
She was an unpleasant, angry young woman. Nobody would have wanted her around.
Lakita.
The fact that Sharon would not give an inch, and it was becoming a huge bone of contention.
Now, the teenagers totally rebel.
She wasn't allowed in the home, but Larkita didn't even respect that.
Grandmother Bertha had heard some noise, so she went down to see what was going on.
64-year-old Bertha Atkins is shocked.
You have to leave.
Lakita wants me here.
Lakita, you know the rules.
Any grandparent would be upset finding their grandchild having sex.
If you ain't out of here in 5 minutes, I'm calling the police.
It's none of your business.
To Bertha, that would have been an unspeakable violation.
That was more than she could take. She gave Sharon 5 minutes to get out of the house, or she was going to call the police.
Leave us alone.
I am warning you.
Okay, she'll leave.
But Larkita wants to be with her love, no matter the cost.
I hope she leave us alone. She never will.
With teenagers in love, every action is life and death. And in this case, it really was.
17-year-old Sharon Patterson
You have to leave.
is forbidden to visit her girlfriend, Larkita Collier. But it doesn't stop her. They decide there is only one way to settle this for good.
The girls were in love. Everything was life and death at their age. They had poor impulse control.
They were young, and they were in love, and they were very immature, and they were extremely irrational.
Bertha had to go. It was a stupid idea, but it felt right at the time.
All the pent-up frustration boiled over. And things got very ugly very fast.
There was no thinking beyond the anger that sort of consumed them in the moment.
On that day, September 17th, 2003, Sharon and Larkita ambush her grandmother.
It was very personal and very brutal.
But to realize that the granddaughter
I told you I was gonna call the police.
that she had loved and cherished for so many years, that girl was one of her attackers.
The pain would have been excruciating. She would have felt the first blow, the second and the third, maybe even the fourth, until thankfully, she became unconscious.
Larkita sacrifices her grandmother for a teenage love affair.
Larkita did not have a criminal past, and there was no history of violence. It's not uncommon when teenagers kill that it is the first time they were ever involved in any violent activity.
Her grandmother is dealt with, but now Larkita has another problem.
She realized that her mother would be home from work soon, and there was blood everywhere, and the grandmother is dead.
Teenagers are famous for not thinking things through, but Larkita brought it to a whole new level.
Larkita went down and got the gasoline can that's in her house. She came back upstairs. She poured the gasoline on her own grandmother.
I think it was their intent to just make it seem like there was an accidental fire. This was their sort of 2-minute version of how do we get out of a murder.
With the house on fire, the girls leave. They catch a movie. A horror movie.
How do you do that? How are you so callous?
It's not something that you would expect someone after the act that they just committed to go see and casually go see like nothing has ever happened.
But the celebrations are premature. Before the credits roll, they're found out.
One of the neighbors that saw both of them shut the door and casually walk down the street.
When they set Grandma alight, it sets off an explosion. But the flames don't destroy the evidence.
When they put the fire out, they realized that at the core of the flames, there was a dead woman. And it wasn't an accidental fire death because she had a hammer embedded in her skull.
As the last people to leave the house, the girls are brought in for questioning, and their precious bond disappears.
They turned on each other, they blamed each other, and so when the pressure of the situation hit them, they both turned on each other immediately.
Sharon blamed Larkita. Larkita blamed Sharon. This is proof there's no honor among thieves, and especially among murderers.
In March 2004, Larkita Collier is convicted of first-degree murder and arson. Sharon Patterson is convicted of first-degree murder. Both are sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Neither of these girls might have ever killed anyone had they not met. But they did meet, and they did kill. Ah, young love.
When a woman has an appetite for money,
Had a spend, spend, spend mentality.
she finds a man
He seemed to develop an infatuation.
who's prepared to pay.
He never knew what hit him.
In the tiny village of West Rainton, England, 55-year-old family man George Button meets a tragic end.
The police were talking about hit and run.
George died in hospital the next day from his brain injuries.
His young wife, 33-year-old Christina, is left to raise their daughter on her own.
What do you think?
George was a real family man. He doted on Christina and their daughter.
Do you think it makes me look chunky?
Looks beautiful.
Solid and reliable.
Oh, look at what I got.
George catered to her every whim. And to Christina, image is everything.
Won't you look like a princess?
Wow, £40 for a kid's dress.
What, do you want to look like an orphan?
Christina liked to have all eyes upon her, especially her neighbors.
It's just now we have this huge mortgage.
I'm working too.
That's why they bought the biggest house on the street.
I have standards, George.
No matter how much it costs, George always comes through.
He was obviously completely smitten with Christina and would pretty much do anything she wanted him to.
Not only did they have a house they could ill afford, but Christina was happily spending money on designer clothes and expensive holidays.
She had about 14 store credit cards.
Oh, sorry, madam, your card seems to have declined. Do you have another? I'll have a look.
And she'd sort of maxed them out.
After 7 years of marriage, Christina spent all of their savings and a lot more.
No, I'm afraid not.
George and Christina were struggling to pay the mortgage, struggling to pay for other essentials that they needed for the family.
Well, see if I have another one. What has my husband been buying?
And all of it was down to Christina, who basically had a spend, spend, spend mentality.
Ah, there you go.
The situation had got really quite dangerous.
There you go. You have a lovely day now. Thank you.
She was now about £200,000 in debt with her credit cards.
While Christina can't handle her own money, she's paid to look after other people's. She works as a bookkeeper in a local shop.
Christina saw herself as a princess, and she acted like one even when the money was running out. Christina stole $18,000 from her employer.
We're not talking about a few shillings.
Rather than go to the police, the shop owner listens to a desperate plea from her husband.
We really appreciate you talking to us before the police.
All right. Well, that's the next step.
Is there any other way we can sort this out?
If you pay the money back, there's no need for the police to be involved.
He decided not to press charges.
Thank you.
You're lucky to have this man.
But they had to pay the money back, and in that case, they had to remortgage their house.
George just couldn't say no to Christina.
You're a bit expensive. I couldn't resist.
I don't think Christina even liked her husband, George. Christina married George because she was looking for someone she could dominate and control.
Well, girls, how do I look?
George is taking up a second job to buy me something special.
Christina's idea of how to pay the money back
Okay, better run.
It was to have George get another job, and the best he could do was delivering pizzas in the evening.
He would spend all day working.
Poor George.
And then have to come back and go out again delivering pizzas in the evening. It was quite sad for a man of that age.
I only married him because I felt sorry for him.
Christina doesn't seem to care. George is a gift that keeps on giving.
Christina couldn't resist bragging about her husband's insurance policy and how much he was worth if he ever died.
I guess when he dies, I'll be a merry widow.
At this point, the mathematics became very dangerous for George.
In 2003, Christina Button is in debt. Then a knock on the door brings a possible solution. Her 20-year-old nephew, Simon Tannehill.
He didn't have many friends of his own. He didn't have much going in his life.
Oh, Simon! Georgie, how are you? Good to have another man in the house. Yeah.
Simon's moving in.
Let's get your stuff in.
All right, mate. I better be off to work now.
His rent will help pay off their crippling debt.
George, being a sort of naive and fairly honest guy, just saw it as a good way to pay some bills.
So, have you got a girlfriend?
No, not at the moment, no.
Christina takes a keen interest in her nephew.
Grown up to be a very handsome man.
I think Christina let Simon move in because she knew he was pliable.
Well, you and I are actually closer in age.
Oh, really?
He could be useful and he could help her with her plan.
Within weeks, the aunt and nephew relationship takes an unusual turn.
He seemed to have developed an infatuation for Christina.
Just like her husband, Simon falls under Christina's spell.
And she decided to manipulate him and even to give him the impression that she was available to him.
There were sexual texts sent between them. There's no evidence that they had sex, but it was clearly going beyond the boundaries of what a relationship should be between an aunt and a nephew.
For Simon, the sexual tension is all-consuming.
Who's been a cheeky boy?
I am.
Simon was a typical young man in his 20s, and here he's having sexual banter with a 32-year-old woman.
There is one way he can have Christina all to himself. If George is out of the picture.
She told infatuated Simon about her plan to murder George in order to get the money from his life insurance.
The pair case a potential spot for George's unfortunate accident.
Something bewitched him, and he became prepared to commit the ultimate crime for her.
And amazingly, Simon, went for it. Perhaps because he was so besotted with her, he agreed to do it.
On the night of March 3rd, 2003, they are ready to execute their plan, taking advantage of George's daily ritual.
Christina had it all planned in great detail.
I'm delighted for a walk, then.
George set off at about 7 to take their dog Laddie for a walk, just as he always did.
West Raynton's country roads are lightly traveled, so Simon's car won't be seen.
Simon knew what route George would take with the dog, so he parked his car in the dark and waited.
Christina was close by. She was just standing in the woods nearby, watching.
Simon then walked up behind George and hit him repeatedly over the head with a blunt instrument.
George was beaten severely. about the head and neck. He never knew what hit him.
Christina witnesses every blow.
She wanted to watch. I think she wanted to make sure Simon did the deed.
She is counting on it looking like a hit and run.
Christina left her husband, someone who cared for her and helped her get out of trouble whenever he could help. She left him to die alone in the dark.
George is found by a passing motorist and rushed to the hospital, but dies the next day.
We think it may have been a hit and run, ma'am.
Christina put on a sort of Oscar-winning acting performance. She played the part of the grieving widow.
She left roses and a note where he was killed. I love you, I love you. But she left out a word. What she should have written, I love you dead.
We're very sorry for your loss. You're right, ma'am.
Christina thinks she's committed the perfect murder without getting blood on her hands.
At first, police thought George had died in a hit-and-run accident, but then they saw the blows in the back of his head.
The injuries are not from a vehicle. They are from a blunt instrument. And Christina's woeful financial situation comes to the surface.
And they begin to sort of paint a picture of a woman who'd got into a lot of debt and had a large life insurance policy on her husband, so they put two and two together.
Then the police discover the sexting between Christina and her young nephew. He becomes a person of interest.
The police then found traces of George's blood in Simon's car.
The perfect crime is really a sloppy killing. In December 2003, Simon Tannehill is convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison.
Simon meant nothing to her other than he could wield a weapon. Christina was in it for the money.
Although she didn't wield the weapon, Christina Button is also found guilty of murder and sentenced to life with a minimum of 14 years.
What do you think?
George was one of the good guys. No matter how much trouble Christina got herself into, he would do anything for her. But that still wasn't enough for Christina.
Christina is a dangerous, dangerous woman.
Next, on a remote Missouri farm, in the dead of night, a tragic shooting.
He'd been shot in the face, and he hit the floor, dead.
Novinger, Missouri, March 23, 2006. The body of 43-year-old Melvin Greisbauer is found by his wife Elaine and family friend Catherine Mock.
Catherine Mock calls in 911, saying that they thought maybe he committed suicide. He'd been in the military. I think there were some claims of PTSD.
Military man Melvin recently returned home from a stressful year of duty in the Middle East.
Suicide. It was becoming too commonplace with Iraqi vets.
He had made, suicidal thoughts in the past.
But it is one of the strangest suicides investigators have ever seen.
Right off the bat is, and this is kind of weird, but his body fell like he was on a crucifix. His arms were wide open, and he was just, looking up at the sky.
The strangest thing of all is his gun.
Final clue was it was loaded and ready to go again.
Last time I checked, a dead person would be very unable to reload or cock a weapon.
The police find gloves and a mask hidden near the barn.
The crime lab examined the mask real quick. They found saliva on it, and we were able to get DNA off it.
The DNA belongs to family friend, Catherine Mock. She is charged with first-degree murder.
She went silent and was silent for a long time.
2.5 years earlier, 49-year-old Elaine and Melvin are happy newlyweds.
Let me.
After 3 divorces, Elaine thinks she's finally found Mr. Right, and he loves life on her farm.
She owned a big farm that had been in the family for generations.
I can't believe you're going away so soon.
But no sooner do they tie the knot than duty calls.
We haven't even had a real honeymoon.
There'll be plenty of time for it when I get back. I promise.
Elaine is worried.
Yeah, but what happens if you get hurt or killed?
But Melvin is prepared for the worst.
Melvin wanted to make sure that if he was killed in Iraq, that there would be enough life insurance to take care of Elaine.
Besides, if anything should happen, the Army will look after you.
He had a $600,000 life insurance policy on him.
While Melvin is serving his country, he entrusts Elaine to take care of his beloved dogs.
You look after them while I'm gone?
Yeah, like they're our children.
He was a dog breeder, and that's how they met.
While Melvin is away, Elaine befriends fellow breeder, Catherine Mock.
They're so beautiful. That one has perfect shape. I'm sure he'll make a show dog.
Catherine kind of even held Elaine on a pedestal, really.
I was hoping you'd help me sell some.
I'd love to.
Catherine looked up to her, because here was a woman who had this big farm and bred dogs and looked like a success.
But looks can be deceiving.
Hey, stranger.
Elaine is no businesswoman.
But they were struggling, kind of paycheck to paycheck.
I missed you.
By the time Melvin comes home, the couple is almost bankrupt. To save her farm, Elaine needs to refinance, and she wants Melvin to add his name to her loan application.
Banks are much more likely to give a mortgage to a couple than to one person. Elaine knew that.
I'll be honest. I'm not happy about this.
Melvin's not so sure.
But it's the only way I can save my farm.
That's my point. It's your farm. My debt.
Melvin was not happy with signing this paperwork because it was putting him on the farm, it was putting him on a debt on a farm that he didn't own.
Everything I have is yours.
There's more than financial strain on this marriage. When Catherine comes to stay for a weekend,
Catherine,
Elaine reveals a terrible secret.
can I confide in you?
Of course.
She told her that her husband abused her.
Since he's got back, he's been beating me.
Oh, Elaine.
Melvin treated me badly. He hurt me. Catherine, she was very angry that Melvin would abuse her physically.
Elaine feels trapped, but fears a divorce will cost her everything.
He'll take the farm away from me, and it's been in my family for generations and generations.
Will you help me?
The claims of abuse are a lie.
Anything for you.
But naive Catherine believes Elaine and is ready to help.
She said yes, because she saw Elaine as a victim. Of course she'd help her.
For Elaine, Catherine was weak and pliable, and she really liked that.
In Novinger, Missouri, on March 23, 2006, Melvin Greisbauer and his wife, Elaine Young, have a house guest, 52-year-old Catherine Mock.
I'll head out and leave you two to it.
Every night after dinner, Melvin makes his round trip of the farm.
Melvin went out to the first barn to check on his dogs, make sure they were okay.
Tonight, the two women plan to join him.
Melvin was a marked man.
Elaine insists Catherine dons a mask and gloves.
Elaine just kind of had control over her.
It took Elaine approximately a year to manipulate Catherine into the position where she wanted her.
When Melvin approaches the horse barn, the women are shadows in the dark.
They just hid in that horse barn because Elaine knew that when he came out to get to the horses, he would be standing right there in front of that door. And that's when he was shot.
Suddenly, everything ended for him. There was probably nothing more than a flash of pain before his body tumbled to the ground. He didn't know what hit him.
But it's not Catherine who pulls the trigger. It's Elaine.
The moment he married Elaine, that was the day he signed his own death warrant.
And Melvin's not the only one in Elaine's sights.
What have we done?
Hold it together, Catherine.
She told Catherine, listen, I got what you need to keep you from going to jail.
Now, you need to take all of these. You understand?
She hands her 100 hydrocodone pills.
They'll calm you down.
Overdosing on that drug only takes 18, and she gave her 100 and told her to take them right away.
Catherine is being set up for a murder-suicide.
She was trying to make her accidentally kill herself. She was getting rid of the last living witness.
Miraculously, Catherine survives the overdose. But she keeps her mouth shut.
Catherine was very intimidated. I think that she felt that Elaine had this power over her, or that if she spoke on Elaine, that something could possibly happen to her.
When police charge Catherine with murder, they have no idea what's really happened. And she's still not talking. As the investigation continues, the evidence is mounting. Not against Catherine, but against Melvin's grieving widow.
There were two $200,000 policies on his life, adding up to about $1.1 million upon his death.
It's Elaine, not her friend, who stands to benefit from Melvin's death.
I wish she was dead.
And then a farmhand comes forward with an explosive allegation.
She told her hand on the farm, listen, I'll make a deal with you. You kill my husband, I'll give you $10,000 and I'll kill your wife. And it'll look like an accident. No one will ever know.
Some close to Elaine suspect she is capable of murder.
Hi, Mom.
Mom died kind of suspiciously.
Elaine may have killed her own mother.
What have you got there then?
Oh, just a form.
What form?
The form, so it's passed on to me.
Well, what about your brother and your sister? You can't.
No, I deserve it.
When her elderly mother was in the hospital,
Mom,
Elaine visits her.
sign it.
She insisted her mom change her will.
This nurse had wrote that Elaine's mother, when Elaine left, said,
I just signed my death warrant.
Within months, her mother is dead.
That tells me Elaine coerced her mother into doing that, and her mother knew she was probably going to die.
It becomes clear to police Melvin's murder isn't all Catherine's work. Finally, after 2 years behind bars, she turns on Elaine.
What I really take from this investigation is the power that people can have over others. Sometimes it's just scary.
In 2012, both women are found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder for hire. Elaine's patsy, Catherine Mock, receives 2 concurrent life sentences.
People say she didn't have a mean bone in her body, but whatever it was, Elaine had that control over her that could control her and manipulate her to do something like that. It's kind of crazy, really.
Elaine Young also receives 2 life sentences.
Elaine thought she was smarter and more cunning than anyone else. But Elaine is spending the rest of her life in prison. Prison is full of smart and cunning psychopaths.
These deadly women liked a companion when they killed. Sharon Patterson and Larkita Collier sacrificed her grandmother in the name of love. Christina Button used her adoring nephew for murderous gain. And Elaine Young manipulated Catherine Mock into taking a life. When murder was on their minds, they partnered up. For them, it took 2 to kill.